Good morning, everyone. Welcome to, I call it the Norm Abrams Yankee Workshop look-alike kind of style sort of thing. It's not really. I do admire all of his work, and so I've tried to set the shop up a little bit similar to that. We're going to do a building project in there, starting it today. It's going to be a 6x10 playhouse. They'll probably, well, we'll go inside. It's kind of cold out. It's only 10 degrees Fahrenheit right now. We'll go inside where it's warmer. Come on, puppy. Got Kaya to help me. All right. Oh, let's turn the lights on. Oh, hey, Chad and Dan are here to welcome us. Okay, let's get talking about what our project is going to be. Let's just look over here a minute. So one project is I need to finish cleaning this up, but before I do that, I'm going to go down to the local lumber yard and get my materials ordered for this playhouse. I have a pretty detailed list of materials. At the end of this project, after it's all built, I'll be videoing right along, just like I'll do it step by step, so you can review videos if you wanted to build one and see the steps that I took to do that. And there'll be a materials list at the end, as well as a step by step process of how we're going to do that. Really excited. It's going to be a fun project. So first, I'm going to go down and order the materials so that they may be able to get me a load today. This time of year, it's the middle of January, first part of January. Things are, I think, probably slowed down a little bit, so I can get something pretty quickly. I also have a lot of materials here, but I will give what the current costs are that I paid for each one, each item, and give a total of the materials, and also how many hours of labor it took me to build it. So with of course the assistance of Chad and Dan. Okay, I'll probably take Kaya with me. We'll go get some materials and we'll be back. Come on, Kaya. Here we go. You good puppy. All right, let's go. Okay, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Got everything cleaned up. So here is the paint department, miscellaneous screws, lots of screws. I haven't actually brought the nails in yet. I need to set most of the nails over on this side, but I still have shelf space. So from here, we'll go over to this side where I've got this part all organized, all the way over around here. Everything is ready. I can't put it off much longer. I'm actually going to have to build something. And guess what? So I've got all of those tools hanging, so I know right where everything is right now. And then over here is Dan. He's got his chicken ready. All the workbench is cleaned. I can come right up to it. This feels kind of dark. I used to have a fluorescent 4-foot light here. I may put that back on. I kind of like that. So then moving around even further, got Chad ready with his tape measure and pica pencil ready to cut. So I've got the saw. Let me back you up over here just so you can see this a little better. So there's all kinds of room for a playhouse to be built in here. It's only going to be like 6 feet wide, 10 feet long. So if it was a couple feet from the garage door, it's not even going to come to here. So I've got plenty of room and a few tricks up my sleeve. Oh, hey, guess what? I got the garage door opener fixed. It actually goes up, and look what we have. Building materials. They just came a couple hours ago. Tomorrow, I'm going to start building a playhouse, and I'll try to, I will keep you all informed step by step. Let's see if this will shut now. Because that wouldn't be good to have it like stay open with it cold out. Okay, so I'll be back in the morning. Hang on, because I think it's going to be a really, 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 really fun time. All right, thanks. Good morning. So, 4x4 10-footer, 10 footers, $22 a piece. Let me shut that door. So the first thing that we're going to do today in starting this is we're going to build basically a skid for the playhouse to sit on. So I want to make that all out of pressure treated. It'll be 2 4x4s, and I'll cut an angle on. I'll show you a close-up of that. Cut an angle on each end, and put a spacer down on each end. For certain reasons, just down the road, I'll explain that in a minute. So the first thing is to cut these at a really sharp angle so that it works well as a skid. We'll go over to the saw and take a look at that. I have the chop saw set at 60 degrees. The sharper that angle is the better it's going to slide along on the ground. So because the playhouse is 10 feet long, this skid, I want it to go all the way from the outside of a floor joist to the outside of a floor joist. So I'm going to cut that at 10 feet. And that will be long point to long point. I'm really enjoying my chop saw on wheels so I can move it around as needed. Hang on. Okay. And we'll set this over here. Yeah. Got to do one more, and then on to the next step. I need to drill 2 holes, 7/8 of an inch, a foot back. That's so that with a skid I can put a lag screw through here and then attach a chain to pull it with. So I picked up a hook for the chain that I have, and then these are really stout. They're a 3/4 eye bolt, like that. So when let me show you this side. So when I have the skid all made, I'll have the chain. It'll just hook on there, and then we can pull it around with the truck or whatever we've got for something more powerful than me. Okay, we'll drill the other end, and I'll secure the spacers, and then we have our sled. All right, it's all assembled. I've just kind of screwed those in. Everything I did diagonals, so I know this is perfectly square. It's exactly 10 feet long. I put these holes well, let's go down to the other end. I put these holes 12 inches back from the very front on both sides. And I set these back so the front of it is 14 inches from the front. I'm probably going to run a couple of screws here because when we put the hooks on, I haven't tightened these in yet. When we put the hooks on with a chain and we pull, it's going to be a lot of tension along here. I want to make sure it doesn't just split out. So we'll put those in to hold that together. I think the playhouse, when it's all assembled, is going to weigh probably a little over 1,000 pounds. So it'll be pretty substantial, the amount of pull that it's going to take to move it. So here I'm setting the 2x4 perimeter joists on there. And over in the background you can see the floor joists. Those are 68 3/4 inches long. There is 9 of them that we'll be putting on. This is a perimeter joist. If you'll notice, it's a 2x4, but pressure treated tends to be about an eighth of an inch more than conventional spruce lumber. So it's 3 5/8. I had to allow for that in making the floor system. It's also pressure treated tends to run half an inch longer or so I have to cut it to an exact 10 foot. In my new shop, I have a brand new trash barrel to throw all my wood scraps in to keep the place neat. So we'll go over and mark these out now. Put those 16 inches on center. At the 8 foot mark, I make it so the plywood ends there, and then the extra 2 feet is for the porch, and that will have 5/4 decking on that. So that'll work out perfectly there. So on the porch, there'll be one more floor joist that's kind of an odd amount. That's why we start the layout from the back going forward. Now, time to put this thing on the sled. Works good as a framing table. Quite often, I would use a framing table, and I know you've seen that in a lot of other videos. But so we'll just use the sled. We'll lay these out. The floor joist. Again, there's 9 of them at 68 3/4. So by the time you add both perimeter joists, it makes the width exactly 6 feet. Another point of interest, I always keep my hand 6 inches away from from the gun as far as nailing, so that hopefully I don't get shot with a nail. So I just pull it over, and then I can set the other perimeter joist on the other 4x4. That works pretty good. I just use that little 2x4 to hold it up for now on the right side there. You always have to work the wood, seems like, up or down. It'll vary in thickness an eighth of an inch or so. Pressure treated. Spruce doesn't tend to vary much. So now I'm centering the floor system on the sled. It worked out, for spacing, it worked out 13 inches from the 4x4 over to the inside of that perimeter joist. Same on the other side. Get that lined up exactly, then I'll just tack it in with a framer. Later on, I'll screw everything down. Now I'm doing a diagonal again to make sure it's right on, and it is. Now I'm screwing it down, 3-inch screws, so that that's really secured to that sled. To make sure it's secured so it doesn't like blow off or whatever. 5/8 CDX, marking those 16 on centers, and then I'll take the T-square, draw lines all the way across there so I know exactly where to screw it down. The corner is the most important part. That's the initial one. That it also makes sure it confirms that everything is square. Get one there, then go down to the other end, put one in there. That's fir plywood. I really like that. It lays really well, lays flat. And now the car dollies that I picked up, $59 a pair. Bought it at Harbor Freight so that I can just move this thing around as needed. Should work really well in here in the shop. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And the next one I should get a lot more done as compared to what I got here.